What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I'm going to leave the proverbial ball here in Dubby's court. So, first of all, let me say I appreciate everyone that watches my videos, hands down. The last video, I would say 99% of you understood the point that I was trying to make and the message I was attempting to convey. I'm not the best communicator, so at no fault of yours or mine, there are going to be times where you don't fully understand the point that I'm trying to make, and I'm okay with that. And I think in many cases you're okay with that because a lot of those people come back to my channel. Try to make up for it on the next video, or in that case, this video. So there's a couple things here that are undebatable. Dubby, prior to today, the only private message I ever sent you was a concern for your well-being after the tragedy and a graciousness that you were okay afterwards. Now, I don't think I've ever said this, but I did that for a lot of people in our community, both gamers and EA employees. I don't think I mentioned it because it's really a moot point at the time. You know, I'm sure a lot of people reached out to those individuals. I'd hope that they did. In fact, a majority of them did not get back to me, which is fine because I'm sure they were overwhelmed with similar people as myself reaching out and expressing concern for their well-being or safety. Dubby, truthfully, didn't get back to me, but again, I'm not here to really chastise that. I made that video probably just before 3 o'clock. True to my word, I then sent him the tournament information, which he responded to with the message on the screen. The interesting thing about that is, in my opinion, you would only send that to someone if you were willing to compete. And that's what I want to talk about. Competing. I'm a competitor. I've been a competitor. I remember soapbox derby races I lost in Boy Scouts. And I understand that not everyone is going to value being a competitor or being a competitor and what it can do to you. So let me say this. I embrace losing. I almost look forward to losing in a way because losing can give you a power. Imagine, if you will, if I could tell you, you're going to lose, but once you lose, you're never going to get beat by that again. You can be accepting of a win, but when you lose, you truly are confronted with a lesson and the ability to learn from something in a way that it never negatively impacts your life ever again. Now, you're not always going to be able to take from that lesson what you need to never be defeated again, but you are given that opportunity. And if you live your life that way, and if you don't, I would challenge you, just for 1 week, do that. You'll learn that it gives you an incredible confidence. It actually gives you confidence to a fault. To the point that what will happen is you'll be presented with a challenge of an unknown quantity, which is what happened today. And you will be the first in line to accept it, which again is what happened today. So here is where we are. I'm going to share with you what I said to Dubby in response to this. And I also want you guys to understand that in a way, I'm way, way over my head. And I don't care because I'm confident and I like to compete. I've told him, I guess I've asked him what belt he is, and I've told him I'm willing to waive any restrictions if he's a higher belt than me. I've offered him 2 different weight classes, 205 and 185. I've given him the option to choose of those 2 classes. In fairness, he's responded to me with a weight that is not in a class, and I would hope that we could come to an agreement as gentlemen at what would be a fair weight to compete at, given the fact that I would assume he would not be able to compete at 205 or 185. I have requested that it's no gi. I'm pretty firm on that, but, you know, I'm flexible in terms of working with any of these things. But I want you guys to understand what I left him with, and what I may not have totally conveyed in the last video, is that I want to give back to the community with this if it comes through to fruition. And I have no ill will. I have no hostilities against him. I think anyone that watches that video would know that the only issue I took is that there are a lot of people, including children, that look up to him. And I've never felt that condoning violence is the answer, even jokingly, to solve problems. And that I look forward to competing with him. And I know there's some people that are shallow-minded that say, well, you're meeting a threat of violence with a threat of violence. And that's not the case. I'm meeting a proposed violence with the opportunity of a competition. And truthfully, as I said to him, I look forward to that. I would embrace competing with him. I would like to shake his hand afterwards, regardless of who wins. And granted, if we're going into a competition where I know I can go at 185 and you're telling me you're 75 pounds over that, guess who has a disadvantage? Guess who probably shouldn't have opened their mouth when you started asking who wanted to go? But hey, at the end of the day, that is the risk you take when you want to be a competitor. That is the risk you take when you want to defend what you believe in and defend the person you are. So, Dubby, the ball is in your court. I am more than willing to work with you on this. And I would hope that you and anyone in the community do not see this as a negative or a threatening action, but rather the ability to bring people together and the ability to share with others. As I've said, I have no qualms against somehow making this a financial endeavor to benefit the victims of the tragedy that took place. Because I know a lot of people, whether they like it or not, or whether they agree to it or not, there's a lot of people that actually would want to watch this. And you know what? If some of you just want to watch it to see me get smoked, I'm okay with that. And for those of you that want to watch it to have a face reveal, I guess, in a way, man, I'm okay with that too. But I hope you guys would all understand this wasn't done with any bit of anger in my heart. It really wasn't. And I know a majority of you understand that. And I appreciate this video because it's quite a long video. In fact, it may have stopped raining. It may have actually stopped raining during this whole context of things. But again, I will close this by saying, Dubby, the ball is in your court, my friend. I will give you my contact information. And if you do, in fact, want to follow through with this, I would be honored to do so. Appreciate you guys checking this video out. And you know I will be back in the week with more commentary.